Hey, happy anniversary to this channel. This video was supposed to be made on June 2nd. It is August 11th right now, but better late than never. So I just want to say, at the time of recording this, thank you for 396 subscribers. We are so close to 400. Please, please let us get to 400. I want to kind of go into the history of like how Sunlight Cove was made and like why I decided to do this in the first place, and hopefully I'll be able to inspire you guys. So when I was young, a lot younger than I am now, I watched a lot of like Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, and like a bunch of Plus channels that namely were cringe now, but like back then it had a lot of merit. It had a lot of feeling for me. And I was inspired by those creators, and I wanted to pursue my own YouTube channel. That's when one of my channels with basically just my name came up, and I didn't do well. I had no idea what the hell I was doing. No editing, everything was just raw, like no sense of direction where I wanted to go. I just saw what other YouTubers were doing, and I just ran with it, and it crashed and burned. That was the first channel, and since then I've improved, and that's when another channel that I made called Zack Attack came out. And the name Zack Attack came from one of my friends who would always call me that, and it held a special place in my heart at the time. So of course, to pay homage to them, I named my channel Zack Attack, and it did great. Like, I would make, gameplay videos, I would make sketch videos, I would do everything. Even animation at one point, but that kind of, died, basically. And everything was great until I got my account hacked. At 88 subscribers, I deleted that channel. I felt like I was moving. Since I was moving at the time, I felt like I needed a new start, needed a new identity, needed something to restart with, since at the time I was still living in my old house that none of y'all know where I used to live, but I used to live in an old house that was really, really bad. So we moved, and I felt like I needed to have a fresh start, and this is where this channel came from, Sunlight Cove. Now the name Sunlight Cove came from a bad school but with really good friends. And with that being said, the really bad school had a theater program that assigned us a task to make a trailer and stuff. And one of the things was finding a studio name for us to use. And we were thinking of some names. Some were stupid. Some were honestly so vague that like none of it made sense. Until I landed on Sunlight Cove Studios, which is what the original name of this YouTube channel used to be. And I thought it had a ring to it. So I figured, hey, why not take the only good memory I had of that school and turn it into this channel? And so, of course, the beginning of the channel started with like videos and sketches and movies and like mini movies and stuff. So it turned from that to slowly, gradually going into gameplay and stuff. And honestly, I wouldn't change anything. I like this. I love this. I love this channel. I love you guys. You've done a lot for me. And I can't thank you guys enough for everything you've done, especially recently with my dive into Sonic content, which a lot of y'all seem to like. And now I want to get to the more at heartfelt stuff. And I just want to say thank you for everybody who supported that video, and thank you for everybody who criticized that video. Now, I know it's rare for YouTubers to say, hey, thank you for criticizing me, but it really comes from a special place in my heart, because I've been seeing this person who goes by Pirate Software, and they have a massive fucking ego. Like, their ego is the size of Texas. It makes Jerry Seinfeld's ego like cry in shame. Like, This guy's ego is fucking crazy. But when I made my first video on Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, I was like, I felt like I was the shit. Like, I felt like, oh yeah, you know, this video is what will convince people not to hate Sonic Racing Cross Worlds anymore. And it did. It convinced some people that it didn't deserve the hate due to all the factors in play that, you know, Nintendo versus Sega. And a lot of people criticized me for how I worded things, how it was, you know, way too one-sided. Like, you were, like, I was, you know, I was way too easy on Mario, or not Mario Kart. I was way too easy on Sonic Racing Cross Worlds and way too hard on Mario Kart World. And I got the price wrong. My dumbass took the criticism of me getting the price wrong and decided to make an entire second video just correcting that mistake and doubling down on my other points. Which, oh man, I regret doing that. Like, that was the dumbest shit I have ever done. Like, one comment said, like, I got the comparison wrong because I compared a fucking cover art of Mario Wonder and compared it to the base model of Mario Kart World. I don't know what the fuck I was doing. I think I was so blinded by my ego and, you know, need to be right that I just turned my brain off. Turned off, like, all common sense and just, you know, just like, yeah, this right here is... this right here is the end-all be-all proof. I'm right, you're wrong. But no, that did not end very well. And because of that, I started to notice that I was becoming a lot like Pirate Software, where my ego got in the way of everything and, you know, I didn't see reason. So, when a comment by the name of Cat Warrior came in and said, "You honestly sound like a Mario Kart hater, bro," I was like, another biased YouTuber, or another biased Nintendo defender. Time to shut this guy down. And then it kind of got to a point where it was like, okay, man, like, you get it, I get it, you like Mario Kart. And then he brought up a really good point where it was like, if neither of us had played the game and Sonic Racing Cross Worlds isn't out yet, how can any of us know which one is better? And at the time, I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to see that I was wrong and that, you know, it was all him. He's a Nintendo bootlicker, you know, it's all him. You know what? I'm going to delete the comment. And then shortly after, I was like, what the fuck, man? Like, that is some Pirate Software level shit right there. I was starting to become him, and I didn't want to be seen as the next Pirate Software. So I decided to move my ego to the side and make an apology video. And a lot of people seem to like that apology video. I felt better after making it, and I think the alt account of that comment I removed, he said he forgave me. And or he accepted the apology. I don't know if he forgave me or not, but it made me feel better in the end. And there was another comment by the name of, I call it Bumble Bee because I have a Bumble Bee profile. I'll throw their name up here. But there was another comment that was seriously, you know, starting to become like that other one. And right off the bat, I made the same mistake I did. But then another person started defending me. And the more I looked at their points, the more I was like, man, they kind of have a good point here. And then when there was like, oh, like, you know, I'm not saying that Sonic Racing Cross Worlds is bad, unlike you and the creator of this video, since he always likes your comments. I was like, wow, I don't want to be like this anymore. And so I told them that, like, hey, I watched gameplay of the Mario Kart World, and I was wrong. I take back all my points, and I still do. That video is going to be uploaded after this one. But yeah, I really don't like who I was becoming. I really didn't like who I was becoming. And I'm sorry to everyone who I made feel they couldn't comment their opinion without getting yelled at. And I'm sorry for not listening to reason. I should have put my ego to the side and just let it go. Just let it go. And the third video, I hope, will put an end to all of that. Will make everybody happy. Will make everybody satisfied. And yeah, that's basically all I hope for. Another thing, I want to say this. If you're planning on starting YouTube, here are some tips that I learned over the years. And tip number 1, don't be afraid of criticism. Okay, one thing off the bat. Hate comments are not criticism. That is a huge difference. Criticism is like, hey, love your video, or they don't have to say they love the video. You can be like, they could timestamp it and be like, or sometimes they don't. They can be like, hey, this specific part right here, not feeling it. You got it wrong, or like, I think you put a little too much effort into that. Just something along the lines of like constructive criticism. Hate comments are just people being assholes. But constructive criticism, or just criticism in general, don't be afraid of that. Don't be afraid of criticism. Just listen. Put your ego to the side. Breathe in, breathe out, and read what the comment has to say. Because even though if they're being an asshole or saying it in an asshole-ish way, those are the viewers who want to see you grow, who want to see you succeed, who don't want you to be, like, I don't want to say a yes man, but like, not another pirate software, basically, is what I'm trying to say. They want to see you succeed. And don't take that as a hate comment, or don't take that as like, oh, they didn't like your video, you're the shit. Don't. That will get you nowhere. That will get you into a downfall video, actually. Like, don't avoid being in a downfall video. But yeah, jokes aside, do not be afraid of criticism, because it will get you way further than you would ever imagine. It will get you way further than you ever imagined. And it'll keep a dedicated fan base, because you would listen. You'll listen to them. In case, like, in certain cases, like, perfect example, what I did. What I'm doing in the third video, not these other 2 videos, but I took that criticism from the second video and I put all of it in that third video that's going to be releasing after this. So, that being said, listen to criticism, because in the end, those people want to see you succeed. Hate comments just want to be assholes, but people who criticize your videos just want to see you succeed. Another thing is be yourself. You don't have to, like, make a persona on YouTube. You could you can just be yourself. Like, in some of the videos that I make, I sometimes play a character, but I'm also just having fun and being in the moment. Just enjoying what I'm doing. Sometimes it's a case where I have to play a character because I'm in a bad mood at that time, but in the end, I'm just being me. I'm just doing this for fun, and hopefully building a career out of it, but I'm doing it for fun. And I also want to give people something to watch, like something new, something they haven't seen before. And instead of trapping in the same loop over and over and over again of like the same content, the same style, the same editing. No, I want to do something different. I want to be like original. Well, obviously I can't, because like all the original ideas someone else has thought of. But in the end, it's my goal to try and make something people love, and make something people can come back to and look at that and think, wow, this guy really gets it. This guy, like, can relate to this guy. I want to be someone who you can come to with videos and just, relax and have fun, be there in the moment rather than just, you know, going through like the same 9 to 5 job, getting yelled at by your boss or something like that, or nothing like that. I just want you to feel like you can escape reality through my videos. And so far, I don't think I've been doing that. But it's something I want to do. Don't be afraid to be yourself. Because being yourself is the most important thing with content creation. You're not sacrificing a part of yourself just to look good on the camera. Being yourself will make you feel better about yourself. It really will. Take it from me. I've had like performance anxiety for all my life. Thanks to YouTube content creation, I can go on stage and say what I think. And a third and final thing is don't overwork yourself. Overworking yourself, for me at least, is like pushing out so much content that you run out of ideas for what you want. And that's one of the reasons why I quit Dead by Daylight, was because like the community was way too toxic to think of anything positive, and I didn't want to go down that rabbit hole of everyone else like, behavior is ruining the day, behavior is ruining the game, or this content creator sucks and stuff like that. Like, I don't want to be that. I don't want to be a drama channel. I want to be, like I said, I want to be a channel where people can like escape reality and stuff. Not, have everybody forced into this ball of reality and like negativity. No one wants to, everybody hates each other, like no, everybody wants to start a war and stuff like that. Like, no, I don't ever want to be like that. I want a place where, communities alike can watch my videos and be like, this guy gets it, And overworking yourself really puts you in that mood where it's like reality is seeping in. And at that point, take a break. Do not overwork yourself. Do not make it feel like you have to work on this job. Because, again, YouTube is just a hobby, and it really should be treated as a hobby, not a 9 to 5. Unless, you get like unless you start racking in money and like a consistent audience, then yeah, you might want to treat it like a 9 to 5 and also find some time for yourself and stuff. But if you're just starting out, don't treat it like a 9 to 5 job. Treat it like a hobby. Treat it like something like if you're bored you can do, like. Now that's not to say like don't just, make slot videos that you can just re-record over and over and over again, but in the end, YouTube is meant to be fun and a hobby, not a 9 to 5 job where, everybody, like, life is already punching down, like, YouTube is only just adding on to the pile, Don't ever overwork yourself. Just relax, breathe, be in the moment. And lastly is think about why you're doing this in the first place. Because what I want to do is I want to make a place where people can relax, unwind, be safe, have fun. And I also want to support my family and my friends. Because in the end, they are the ones who got me this far. They are the ones who believed in me and, really pushed me to be who I am today. And if it weren't for them, I probably would not be me. I probably would be like Pirate Software. I would probably have a huge ego and nobody is right. I'm the only one who's right, And I want to repay them the best way I can. And I'm struggling to find a job right now, and YouTube is sort of the only way I can do that and have fun. So in the end, you got to have a goal when it comes to this, and you can't just be like, oh, I'm doing it for fun. I mean, you can, but in the end, if it's just for fun, it's not satisfying when you get results. Because if you're doing it for fun, who cares about results, And another thing is care about your image, but don't care so much to the point where you cater to everybody. Because that was one of the biggest issues I did early on. Like, I catered to everybody, and like fucking nobody knew what the hell I was doing. So, care about your image, but don't cater to everybody. And that's basically all I wanted to say. So, yeah. Thank you for everything you've done. And I really, really couldn't have done it without you guys. There's a reason why I always say stay awesome. It's because you guys are the most awesome people I've ever met. My family and everybody who's supported me throughout the years. You guys are awesome. And I want you to stay awesome. See you guys.